Math 7, Unit 1, Lesson 8, Part 2, Multiplying Rational Numbers, Notes. Okay, these are the examples from the notes, starting on page 18. Evaluate each product. 4/5 times 25, 30 seconds. Now, we need to multiply straight across and reduce. I do prefer reducing first, but I will demonstrate both. If you multiply straight across here, 4 times 25 is 100. 5 times 32 is 160. And then I will reduce that. It looks like I can divide top and bottom by 10, giving me 10/16. And then I can divide top and bottom by 2, giving me 5/8. And 5/8 will not reduce any further, so 5/8 is the answer. The other way I actually prefer doing it is to reduce first. I'm going to rewrite the problem and show reduce first as a method. Here I notice that 5 goes into 5 once and it goes into 25 5 times. So I'm dividing top and bottom by 5, reducing. 4 goes into 4 once and into 32 8 times. With all of the reducing now, I have 1 times 5 on top, which is 5. I have 1 times 8 on bottom, which is 8. I get the same answer, and in my opinion, it is easier to reduce than to multiply. Okay, next example. We are going to multiply 2 decimals together. When you multiply decimals, you need to stack the numbers, ignoring the decimal points. By the way, negative times positive, the answer is going to be negative. I'm going to note that for later. 2 times 5 is 10. 2 times 7 is 14, plus the 1 is 15, carry the 1. 2 times 3 is 6, plus 1 more is 7. Let's get rid of my carries and do the next one. 1 times 5 is 5. 1 times 7 is 7. 1 times 3 is 3. Okay, move and do the next one. This one now. 1 times 5 is 5. 1 times 7 is 7. 1 times 3 is 3. Add down, and I'm going to get, oh, this is interesting. Let's see, that's 20, 3 and 7 and 2, 12, carry a 1, 42,000. But I need to put in 1, 2, 3 decimal places. So the answer ends up being negative 42 as the answer. Okay, example 164. 3 1/3 times negative 2 1/5. Okay, with fractions, we need to have them common fractions first. So we're going to do 3 times 3 plus 1, that's 10, 10/3. 2 times 5 plus 1 is 11. So we've got 10/3 times negative 11/5. I like to reduce first, as I mentioned. 5 goes into 5 once, 5 goes into 10 twice. Nothing goes into both 3 and 11. There's nothing left I can reduce. So on top I get 2 times negative 11, negative 22. 3 times 1 on bottom, that's 3. Negative 22/3 is the correct answer. If you're going to convert it to a mixed number, you need to long divide it. You get 7 remainder 1. So this is negative 7 1/3. Next, negative 106.4 times negative 0.037. I need to stack and multiply, ignoring the decimal points. By the way, it is negative times negative, so my answer is going to be positive. 7 times 4 is 28, carry the 2. 7 times 6 is 42, plus 2 is 44, carry the 4. 7 times 0 is 7, plus the 4 is 4. 7 times 1 is 7. I'm going to erase the carries. Now, move down to the next one. 3 times 4 is 12, carry the 1. 3 times 6 is 18, plus 1 is 19, carry the 1. 3 times 0 is 0, plus 1. And 3 times 1 is 3. We add this down. We get 39,368, but we need 1, 2, 3, 4 decimal places. So it ends up being 4 decimal places. And the answer was positive, so it is 3.9368 as the answer. Example 166. 3 and 1/7 multiplied by negative 3.5. Answer is a fraction. That means we're going to have to change this to a fraction. It is actually negative 3.5. I need to change both of them to common fractions. 3 times 7 is 21 plus 1 is 22. 22/7 times 3 times 2 is 6 plus 1 is 7. 7/2, but it's negative 7/2. Okay, I'm going to reduce first. I can see that 2 goes into 2 once, and it goes into 22 11 times. 7 goes into 7 once, and into negative 7 negative 1 times. And then the multiply part here. 11 times negative 1 is negative 11. 1 times 1 is 1. We don't actually need to write it as a fraction because it is an integer, negative 11. Okay, example 167. 3.141592 times 7. I'm going to stack and multiply. Looks like there's not a whole lot I need to multiply. That's nice. 2 times 7 is 14, carry the 1. 7 times 9 is 63, plus 1 is 64, carry the 6. 5 times 7 is 35, plus 1, or 6 is 41, carry the 4. 7 times 1 is 7, plus 4 is 11, carry the 1. 7 times 4 is 28, plus 1 is 29, carry the 2. 7 times 1 is 7, plus 2 is 9. 7 times 3 is 21. Okay, now back in the original problem, there are 6 decimal places. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the decimal point goes there. It's 21.991144. And that is our answer. And it's positive because positive times positive is positive. Okay. Below is another excerpt from the Werner Arithmetic, Book 3, Parts 1 and 2. Determine the total cost of food items billed to Dr. Seibert for the Institute for the Blind for the month of December 1897. The costs are given are unit prices. Now this problem would take several minutes to complete, so I'm not going to go through it in this video, but there are the values you would get. Here you would take 27 bushels times 225 and multiply that out. You'd end up getting this, 2 decimal places, $60.75. And you'd go through the whole thing and then add them up. Notice that this is $434.31. That's for a month's supply of food for an entire institute. But this is back before 1900, so that is a lot of food. We're talking 58 pounds of ham today would cost more than $434. Well, maybe not. But there is one really important thing. I like that the author stated here that I want to make mention. To the pupil, now the pupil would be the student. Remember that any inaccuracy in solving business problems makes the work valueless. Accuracy ranks next in importance to integrity in the selection of an accountant. Because if you make mistakes, it doesn't matter how honest you are if accidental mistakes are a form of dishonesty, is I think what that's saying. Okay, here's some more examples of multiplying. I think I'm going to go ahead and skip over them in the video and just talk quickly about applications of multiplication. In your practice, you're going to be doing some things with distance. Distance equals rate times time. That is a common formula in physics. Let's do an example. Mike walks at a rate of 3.5 feet per second for 19.3 seconds. Determine the total distance traveled. Since it is distance equals rate, the rate is 3.5. The time is 19.3 seconds. We are just going to multiply those two numbers. So 19.3 times 3.5, and we will get a positive answer. 5 times 3 is 15, carry the 1. 5 times 9 is 45, plus 1 is 46. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 4 is 9. Let's get rid of the carries. And 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 9 is 27, carry the 2. 3 times 1 is 3, plus the 2 is 5. add these up, we get 5 here, 15, carry a 1, 17, carry a 1, and 6. Now there were 2 decimal places in the original problem, so there's going to be 2 decimal places here. The answer is 67.55 feet. Okay, and then you'll need to do the practice.